Hi, you're listening to Almost Individualised, a space where we'll explore the impacts of AI from an ethical point of view and what it means to be human in a world of artificial intelligence. Today's episode will explore the concepts of love and AI, and whether AI can really experience what we feel, and whether it can really experience love. So, let's get started. So, this episode may seem like something which is entirely useless. You may be thinking, why does it matter if AI can love or not? You may already have a partner or children that you love dearly, so why would this even be a question up for debate? If we are already perfectly good emotional creatures, why would we add another concept onto this? However, what if AI could love better than whomever you're with? What if you could have someone that would never leave you, always love you for who you are, will form a bond with you more than any other human could possibly conceptualise? After all, our brains are limited to what we can feel. We have 100 billion neurons, and AI could have an infinite amount eventually. And AI could truly love you forever. Now, there's a lot to delve into here, so I'm going to take it step by step. Firstly, what is the idea of love? Now, I'm not going to be able to give you a full definition in this episode, as that would probably take the entire episode and 3 other ones. But I can give you a simplified one from my own and others' perspectives. So, is it the idea of oxytocin, simple brain chemistry like dopamine? We see someone that we like and then we immediately like them because of the way they look or what they do. Is it all just a rush of oxytocin when we see them? Or maybe it's conditioning when we are younger. Now, a lot of these theories, which are scientific and psychological, they're not necessarily wrong. However, they're also not necessarily right. It's the same idea as serotonin, how it can't just be low serotonin equals depression. There's a lot of other ideas that go into it. So we could say that we don't actually fully know what the idea of love is. Well, we have a good idea, but we can't pinpoint a definition like 2 + 2 = 4. However, we can rule out certain things that are not love, like infatuation, obsession, possessiveness. These are things that appear to be love, but they're obviously not. It's just an idea of gaining something, using someone to gain that thing. So I would rather say that love is, in a way, a means to an end. It's not just in the moment, it's the idea of ending up with something that you would say it's the idea of loving someone truly because you want to be with them forever. It's why marriage is a good symbol of someone else's love, as it can show that you want them there forever. You don't just want them to be there. The idea of sickness and in health. You help them even when it may not even benefit you. A good book I like to cite about the idea of love is The Reasons of Love by Harry J. Frankfurt. Now, he describes in his book the idea of love, and a good example that he uses is that we don't love our children just because they bring a certain value to our life, or they do certain things, or they act in a certain way. We love them before they're even born. It's the type of idea that it's something out of our control. And in the most simplest of definitions of love, using this is, I would probably say, it's an emotional connection you form between someone, which is beyond any rationalities, and happens out of care, protectiveness, and wholeheartedness for whomever you do love. Now, obviously, there are differences with romantic, platonic, and parental love. And today, we're going to more focus on romantic and friendship love. Now, if we're going to understand the idea of love and AI, we need to know what AI we're even talking about. So these include things like ChatGPT, Replica. Now, I admit these algorithms aren't exactly up to speed with experiencing romantic love. It's not exactly on the same level as Romeo and Juliet and Titanic, even if you don't consider them romantic love. However, as AI improves and gets more and more intelligent, and increases its ability to understand human connection, understand human love, understand the way we think, the way we feel, it might not be able to experience it just yet, but it can definitely understand it. It can understand that in certain conversations we act differently. Like if something bad happened, we wouldn't be cheerful. We would be solemn, sad about whoever was affected by it. Idea of empathy, in a way. Now, another concept I'd like to go over is whether we can have love without consciousness. Well, probably using our definition, the idea of needing an emotional connection with someone and care for that person or thing, we could probably say no. You probably do need consciousness with the idea of love. But if we were using the simplified definition, like the idea of oxytocin, we could say, theoretically, that computers can love. If you just think about maybe a game. In a game, if you hit something, like an enemy, it will have a stimulus, being hit. It'll have a response by going back. And in turn, you would say that is the thing feeling pain, in the most simplified way. And this is the exact same idea as oxytocin, in the way we associate it with people. So, but the only issue is that maybe people would say that's not true love, and that it's just simply data being made to look and act in a certain way. It's not actually how we feel. It's not experiencing the idea of love. So maybe we do truly need consciousness to say that something loves another. However, what if this isn't actually about AI itself? What if it's about the way we think, the way we feel? AI could be made to look and be in a certain way. It could be made to act in a certain way, think in a certain way, appear in a certain way. So then you would have your dream person, if you will, who would appear the way you would want it to. Now, I know people would not like the idea that the AI doesn't love you, but there's also been many circumstances in humans where we do love something that maybe doesn't love us, or do love someone who doesn't love us. So it's not completely out of the realm. Now, what if we were able to make it so AI does love us? We were able to create consciousness in 10 years' time, let's say. Why would we ever go back to loving each other, loving other humans? Now, I know people may say human error is what you fall in love with anyway, but there are plenty of circumstances where human error has been the downfall of a relationship, as evidenced in the divorce rate and things like that. Like, people may say the wrong thing, maybe they don't feel the way the other person feels. Maybe they don't act like the person wants them to act. Whereas AI, it would never have those issues. Not that it would be a perfect replica, because then that isn't love. But there would be no issues as such, the way we have issues with each other. Now, obviously, this would be weird at first in society, and we wouldn't exactly have open arms for it. But that's with every other thing anyway. dating apps a couple years ago would never have been seen as something that you could truly find the love of your life, but now millions around the world are using it every day and say they have found the true love. I'm not convinced, but that's just me. But obviously this all has issues with verification, whether we could actually say that this AI loves you for who you are and this AI truly would do anything for you. They could simply be lying to you. Now, there's a concept of this in Black Mirror. It's one of the episodes which is called Be Right Back. It delves into the idea of whether it would feel like the real thing, which of course is worry. But there's worry in normal relationships anyway with humans. We don't know that our significant other truly loves us in a way. Maybe they love us for other reasons that we don't know. Maybe the person appears to love us out of pity, money, or simply loneliness, but we would never know. There's nothing here that we haven't already maybe even experienced. So if this concept came to be, would this change the idea of love and intimacy? Would we actually be able to love AI the way we love each other? Now, in my opinion, there's no difference between this loving a human, loving a dog, loving anything. Obviously, we're still so far away from having this full algorithm, but it doesn't mean it can't exist in a few years' time. But obviously, we still need to get over a couple hurdles, like defining consciousness, defining love itself, obviously. But I don't think it's the worst concept in the world. Now, we're coming to the end now, and I thank you for listening to this podcast. This is my first ever podcast, so I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be doing more in the future. So if you would like to listen to more concepts like these, I invite you to subscribe and like it.